In a significant escalation of hostilities, Iranian state media reported the launch of a new wave of ballistic missiles aimed at Israel, coinciding with renewed explosions in Tehran's capital. The missile strikes on Israel have resulted in at least 13 confirmed fatalities, with numerous others injured. The latest round of missile attacks marks a continuation of the ongoing conflict between the two nations, characterized by reciprocal strikes targeting military and strategic sites. The situation remains fluid, with both countries on high alert and international calls for de-escalation intensifying. The recent hostilities are part of a broader and prolonged conflict between Iran and Israel, marked by a series of military exchanges and proxy engagements over the years. Tensions have been exacerbated by Iran's nuclear ambitions, its support for militant groups hostile to Israel, and Israel's concerns over regional security. The situation has been further complicated by the involvement of other regional actors and international powers, each with their own interests and alliances. The latest escalation began with Israeli airstrikes on Iranian military and nuclear facilities, part of a broader operation aimed at degrading Iran's military capabilities. In response, Iran launched a barrage of ballistic missiles targeting Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv and Haifa. These strikes resulted in significant casualties and damage to infrastructure. Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system intercepted many of the incoming missiles, but some penetrated the defenses, causing destruction and loss of life. en.wikipedia.org. In retaliation, Israel conducted further airstrikes on Iranian targets, including military installations and facilities associated with Iran's missile and drone programs. These strikes have reportedly caused explosions in Tehran and other Iranian cities, leading to civilian casualties and widespread damage. The ongoing conflict has had a devastating impact on civilians in both countries. In Israel, the missile strikes have resulted in numerous fatalities and injuries, with hospitals and emergency services overwhelmed by the influx of casualties. In Iran, the airstrikes have caused significant damage to civilian infrastructure, including residential buildings, hospitals, and schools. The humanitarian situation is dire, with shortages of essential supplies and services exacerbating the suffering of the civilian population. The international community has expressed deep concern over the escalating conflict and its potential to destabilize the region. The United Nations has called for an immediate ceasefire and the resumption of diplomatic negotiations between Iran and Israel. Major powers, including the United States, Russia, and China, have urged both sides to exercise restraint and avoid actions that could lead to a broader regional war. Despite the ongoing hostilities, there are indications that both Iran and Israel may be open to de-escalation. Diplomatic channels remain active, with intermediaries working to facilitate dialogue between the two countries. However, significant challenges remain, including mutual distrust, entrenched positions, and the involvement of external actors with competing interests. The recent escalation between Iran and Israel represents a dangerous turning point in their long-standing conflict. The humanitarian toll is mounting, and the risk of broader regional instability is high. It is imperative that both sides prioritize the protection of civilians and work towards a peaceful resolution through diplomatic means. The international community must continue to support efforts aimed at de-escalation.